Hello, welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you could be with me. Hope you're having a good day. And I'm sure you guys all watched the unbelievable events in Washington. Dang. Shoot, man. uh, Unbelievable. Hello, Travis. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Salam, Emmanuel, Shahid, Salami, and Bacon. Yeah, we're at unbelievable events in the White House, and it was it a Kamala guy? It was a teacher of the year. It was a teacher of the year. I mean, yes, we do have some liberal teachers in California, and dang, what insanity, man. You know, total, you just can't one thing I'm wondering, I was wondering what grade this guy was teaching, who whose kids was this guy teaching? Um, it's like yeah, just shoot, can you imagine that being your kid's teacher? And then seeing him lying there shooting. Yeah, I mean that, you know, just the fact that even the liberal media now is on Trump's side. They're trying to get however they can. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. It's just wild, man. The it's really worth watching. I mean, it's unbelievable historical. Let's look. Let's shooting that Trump event. No, yeah, it's worth watching. It's just it was so wild, man. It was just I actually cried, man. I was just like, dude, this is just too much, man. This has got to stop, man. The incitement, there. You see that lady up there? I'm not. Oh, that's the lady, the leader of the White House Correspondents Association. She's from CBS. You can see her on the left there, right next to Trump. I think that's who's that? The leader of the Republicans in the House was talking. There's Melania. He's talking to them both. Trump said he thought it was like somebody dropped a tray. Something. There, you heard that first shot there. Kind of see Melania there. She's talking to. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Erica Kirk? I don't know. Oh, everybody starts jumping. Look, everybody starts, but they're not. It's like, look, Trump and Melania and everybody up there. It's like they don't even know what's going on. Oh, there people are running now. Everybody's looking now. Melania's looking. Yeah, I'm not sure who that blonde is. Maybe it's Carolyn Levitt. I don't know. Okay, but they're starting to run now. You see over here, they're taking the vice president and his wife out. Yeah, the vice president. See, on the vice president side, everybody was taken out. But on the president's side, everybody's still there. Look at that. There, Melania just went under the table. I don't know if Trump is under the table yet. Yeah. The secret, there's the security soldiers right by the podium there. Who's that guy right there? It must be secret police right there. Secret Service. Dang. Who's this guy that's wearing the white jacket there? Looks like an actor or something. Maybe a waiter. Still standing. He's standing. Everybody else is going on the table. He's still standing there. And this guy here. Wow, that was wild. Phew. Yeah, very wild. So crazy times, man. So thank God the president's okay. Thank God everybody's okay. I guess one guy got shot. One of the secret police guys got shot. And hey, Tiger, God bless you, man. So anyway, this is number five, the fifth assassination attempt on president. Dude, crazy, crazy times. So yes. Well, anyway, I don't know if you guys have seen this nun, man. She's like, dang. He's like really giving it to the Pope. Just kidding. She's like, you know, I don't know what to think about. When I listen to her, it's like, shoot, it's like she's yeah, it is unbelievable, man. It's still shaking, man. It's happened too much, man. It so many times it's happened so far to the president, and but God has protected him, and you know. So anyway, dang, wild times. Anyway, but just watching this nun. I don't know how I think my wife posted something about her, and she's like, dude, she's telling the Pope, like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? It was like, watch what she says here.
Supported. If Mother Miriam Live has been a blessing to you, we ask you to donate at thestationofthecross.com. God bless you. We have an email from somebody who writes in anonymously from New Hampshire who says, I do not understand the recent embrace of Islam by the Vatican. How do we reconcile this with facts? Islam does not embrace the same God that we do. They do not believe Christ is God. They believe in conversion by the sword. Although we should love all, Our Lady appeared at Fatima not without intention, but to embrace Islam baffles my mind. Dear Anonymous, I think it baffles God's mind too.
I think it baffles God's mind too. Wow. To hear a nun say that, I think it baffles God's mind that the Vatican is embracing Islam the way it is. And I don't know if you guys know, she mentioned Fatima, the Lady of Fatima. For those of you who don't know about the Lady of Fatima, that's a famous event that there's a the reason that I know about it is because my sister's name is Fatima, You know, it's my grandmother's name, and uh, and so they. I think this is. Wait a second. I don't want anybody to talk. See if they had the video. Okay, let's see if we can watch it. This is the supposed miracle of Fatima, which um, it was like there was three kids who claimed they saw Mary, and she predicted World War One and World War Two. And,
1917, in the countryside of Fatima, Portugal, burning sun every time 13th day of the Rosary, the miracle which is known today.
they're not. I wish they would just show it because there was a movie. Oh, here it is.
Holy Mother, you promised to give us a miracle so the people will believe us. Look at the sun! Look at the sun! Look at the
sun! Look at the sun! It's falling!
Vincente, what's happening?
The end of the world!
Oh, it can't be. For I can see again. I can see. I can see.
The sun is turning back! The sign!
Anyway, that's the movie. It's called The Miracle of Fatima. So that's a big deal. That's what she's talking about, something about Fatima. The reason that's a big deal for like Islam or something is because, of course, Muhammad's daughter's name was Fatima, even though people doubt that she was really his daughter, may have just been his wife's daughter, Khadija. And so anyway, yeah, so anyway, but this is so this nun here, she's like, dude, what's going on with the Pope and everything in his embrace of Islam recently? Um,
Think it's not at all of God. Baffles my mind by the sword. Although we should love all, Our Lady appeared in Fatima not without intention, but to embrace Islam baffles my mind. Dear Anonymous, I think it baffles God's mind too.
That's pretty courageous, a nun telling the Pope. It baffles God's mind that the Vatican is embracing Islam.
I think it's not at all of God.
It's not at all of God. Islam is not at all of God.
Do not embrace Islam. We embrace, I think it's not at all of God. We do not embrace Islam. We embrace Islamists, Muslims, as Christ embraced us, to bring them to the truth.
We embrace Muslims to bring them to the truth.
Not to pray with them, not
to pray with them. Wow, that's pretty brave, man. Not to pray with them. But the Pope is praying with them. He's borderline praying with them. Let me show you this video. Oops. Okay, watch this.
Mosque. In 2001, he was the first pope to walk into a mosque. In 2001, Pope John Paul II did something no pope had ever done before. He entered a mosque in Damascus, Syria. Before stepping in, he took off his shoes. He stood silently in the Umayyad Mosque, once a Christian basilica, now one of Islam's holiest sites. He didn't come to preach, he came to pray.
You're praying inside of a mosque. This Pope John Paul.
Inside, he honored John the Baptist, who is sacred to both faiths. And then he said, "May Christians and Muslims respect one another and work together for peace." That day, he didn't build a wall. He built a bridge.
Yeah, and he didn't save those Muslims from going to hell, by not, by embracing Islam there. And so, let's see, nothing good came from Chicago. Obama, Sam, Tiger. He's a lefty Democrat from Chicago. Yeah, true story. That this Pope is a lefty from Chicago. Yeah, but it's great. It's amazing to see this nun being so bold, man. It's like
To be united with them, to bring them to the truth. We do not embrace Islam. We embrace Islamists, Muslims, as Christ embraced us, to bring them to the truth. Not to pray with them.
Not to pray with them, John Paul.
Not to be united with them.
Not to be united.
Because to be united with them is to unite ourselves with Satan.
Whew! Did you hear that? Listen to that. Jeez.
Them, because to be united with them is to unite ourselves with Satan. Not to be united with them, because to be united with them is to unite ourselves with Satan.
To be united with them is to unite ourselves with Satan. Now, she means that in a spiritual sense, like when you start saying that we, serve the same God and all that. She says it's uniting with them is uniting ourselves with Satan. Dang.
And so, no, it's very puzzling.
It's very puzzling.
I think this Pope has a sincere desire for so-called unity.
He has a sincere desire for so-called unity.
And to reconcile everybody. But unity apart from truth is not unity.
Wow. Unity apart from truth is not unity. Wow. Unity apart from truth is not unity. That God works both ways. Islam does not recognize Christianity. I mean, it could say, yeah, they're people of the book and all this stuff, but they believe that our God is not God. They believe Jesus is not God. They believe he didn't die. He said the reason he came is because the Father commanded him to die for us. He said, no one takes my life from me. I lay it down. This commandment I received from my Father. And Islam says he didn't die. We can't be united to that. That's called Antichrist.
It's leading everybody to hell, not.
It's leading everybody to hell. Jeez. Wow. This little nun, man. They can't have a female pope, but man, they need her to be the pope.
To life. And so it's leading everybody to hell, not to life.
It's leading everybody to hell, not to life.
And so it's a great heartache.
It's a great heartache.
The same thing of his embracing and congratulating the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is a woman, which means she can't be a priest, no matter her position or title. And she supports abortion, and it's an abomination.
The Archbishop of Canterbury, I bet she's a lesbian too. Let's see who the Archbishop of Canterbury is. They need an Archbishop of Canterbury to be from Africa, because Africa still has a conscience, whereas the England, hate to say it, the Archbishop of Canterbury is a senior bishop primate of the Church of England. They are whatever. Archbishop is one of 26 Church of England bishops who sits on the House of Lords and Parliament. Ceremonial head. She's Sarah Mullally, and she's pro-abortion. She's pro-abortion. One of the most important figures in Anglicanism. Of course, appointed. No wonder England is becoming. We see what's happening with England, because this is what the Archbishop is pro-abortion, and like the nun says, that's abomination, killing children. Okay, interfaith role, speaking on behalf of England. She don't speak on behalf of me. She don't speak on behalf of Christians, or real Christians at least. Announce the decision. Okay. I just was wondering if she's also. I wonder if she's also a lesbian. Because I think that. I bet she supports that too, because the Anglican Church is like that. So, Canterbury, okay. I don't see. Let me see if. Let's see what it says here. Is the Archbishop of Canterbury, Sarah Mullally, a lesbian? Is the Archbishop of Canterbury, Sarah Mullally, a lesbian?
No, she's not. Her name's Sarah Mullally, not Mai. That was probably an autocorrect thing. She's been married to a guy named Eamon since 1987, and they have 2 kids. Nothing in her bio or any reporting suggests she's a lesbian. She's just the first woman to hold the job.
She supports abortion, killing of babies. She supports abortion, the killing of babies, right? Doesn't want to answer that. Anyway, the nun says she does. So, okay. Let's get back to our Mother Mary. Mother Miriam comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be.
And so it's one thing for true ecumenism, to try to come together with those apart from Christ and respect them, to try to understand what they believe, in order that you can come alongside them as Christ did us, to bring them to God, but not to leave them in their sin and disbelief or errors. So it's not just a puzzlement, it's a heartbreak for us all to see the Pope doing that. And certainly not an example to follow.
Wow. Wow. There's not an example to follow. Is it, are they allowed to say that about the Pope? Are they allowed to say that about the Pope? I mean, I'm shocked to hear, that she's talking like that. I didn't know that they are allowed to. So, shoot, good for her, man. Mother Miriam. So, there's another video by her too. She goes after the, let me see. Let me see the other, talking about the fact that they have a Islamic prayer room in the Vatican now.
Room with a prayer rug. KZ.
Okay, let's see. Is this the right one? Yeah.
I don't know the. We have a comment from KZ on YouTube. Could you share your thoughts on the Vatican Library allowing Muslim scholars to pray in a designated room with a prayer rug? KZ, I don't know the full story, but it's on EWTN, and I'm going to read the EWTN article. But I don't have to read that in order to say it makes me sick. The Vatican Library would allow Muslim scholars to pray in a designated.
It says it makes me sick that they will have Muslim scholars. Let's see if they'll put up a little Christian chapel inside the Kaaba. See if they'll put a little Christian chapel with a big cross in the Kaaba.
Room with a prayer rug. Why would they allow Satan into the Vatican Library?
Why would they allow Satan into the Vatican Library? Dang. Dude. Why would they allow Satan into the Vatican Library? She's got 74,000 subscribers. That's not that much. She doesn't even have 100,000. But look how many views she's got on this video. She got 229,000 views. She got 229,000 views on this. Dang. Wow. There's people that believe the Bible, even though, I mean, they're, I don't agree with, a lot of the stuff that the Catholics teach, but man, she's giving it to them right, man. I'm totally impressed. The Kaaba did have Christians in it worshiping at an icon of marriage. That's true. Yeah, that's true. They do have the yeah, she's wearing a hijab. Yeah, right. Uh, I wasn't subscribed, but I think I may subscribe to her, man. Tell you what, man, she's standing up. She's standing up to even the Pope. she's standing up to the Pope. Dang. That's pretty brave. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were allowed. I wonder if she got in trouble. I wonder if they get in trouble. I don't know. I don't know if nuns are allowed to do this, on YouTube. So let's hear that again. That's funny.
I'm going to read the EWTN article, but I don't have to read that in order to say it makes me sick. The Vatican Library would allow Muslim scholars to pray in a designated room with a prayer rug. Why would they allow Satan into the Vatican Library?
Why would they allow Satan into the Vatican Library? And you could think, if there's a Muslim watching thinking, hey, that's not fair. That's not Satan, It's like, well, go ahead and put a Christian prayer room in the Kaaba with a big cross, with a big cross. You could take my wooden cross and put it there in the in the Kaaba. See, yeah, see, in Mecca. Never mind the Kaaba, in Mecca, you know, with church bells.
It's insane.
It's insane.
That's what they're doing. I have no understanding of that whatsoever. This is from the Vatican EWTN website, and it's titled, Did the Vatican Library Open a Prayer Room for Muslims? Isn't this awful? Okay, here's the article. Reports circulating in media outlets and on social media in October 2025, that's now, allege that the Vatican has opened a prayer room for Muslims in the Apostolic Library. This is EWTN's article. The claim is that the Vatican Library has opened a prayer room for Muslims, and the Catholic News Association, which is owned by EWTN, says the library does allow Muslim scholars a room in which to pray while they are on site doing research in the Vatican's extensive archives. In mid-October, this month, sensational news coverage rocketed around internet media outlets and social media feeds. The Vatican is, quote unquote, allowing a, quote unquote, designated Muslim prayer room in its apostolic library. And it's put together reports from National Review, the Dallas Express, GB News, Euro Weekly News. The library has added a Muslim prayer room, it says. The Vatican has set up a dedicated Muslim prayer room at the heart of the Pope's 500-year-old library. The Holy See has opened a Muslim prayer room in the Apostolic Library. End quote from all the headlines. The headlines, the article says, are not technically inaccurate. What does that mean? If they're not technically inaccurate, they are accurate. But they appear to suggest a sort of proactivity on the Vatican's part, as if the Holy See opened up a Muslim prayer room in order to cater to Rome's Islamic population, and readers could be forgiven for thinking the endeavor is more significant than it appears to be. Oh, this sounds like compromise at every end.
It sounds like compromise at every end. She knows this is double talk by the Vatican, man. I don't think that anybody's being paid at the Vatican. They're very rich at the Vatican, but they're compromising with Satan.
Indeed, the reports generated passionate criticism online. One deacon, for instance, claimed the prayer room constitutes a total betrayal of our Lord Jesus Christ.
A total betrayal of our Lord Jesus Christ. Why is it a total betrayal of our Lord Jesus Christ? Because Islam says he's not the Son of God. And the church is built on the revelation. Jesus said, on this church, on this rock, I will build my church. What rock? The revelation that he is the Son of God. And so they bring in a cult that doesn't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. They think he's just a little man. And, might as well have a Mormon. Might as well have a Mormon prayer room. The Mormons say that Jesus is the spirit brother of Lucifer, or have a Jehovah Witness prayer room. They say he's just an angel,
While the news outlet Zenit noted policy had sparked a quiet storm in response. I can't understand otherwise. The article continues. The truth appears to be somewhat more mundane. There's no such thing. I'm talking through this article, which I'm reading for the first time. There's no such thing as mundane when it comes to having Muslims pray in the Vatican. Their prayer, not for the truth. The prayer room's existence became widely known after the October 8th publication of an interview between the Italian newspaper La Repubblica and the priest Father Don Giacomo Cardinale, the vice prefect of the Vatican Apostolic Library. In the wide-ranging interview, Cardinale described the library as a universal institution and the most secular of the entire Holy See. Well, shame on him. Mother Miriam, who do you think you are? Shame on a cardinal? Yes. There's nothing secular about the Holy See, the most secular of the entire Holy See. There's not a bathroom in the Holy See that's secular. That is holy ground. What's happened to our world? What's happened to our prelates?
There's not a bathroom that is secular in the Vatican. That is holy ground. Now, of course, I don't agree with her, but I do agree that, wait a minute, why are they bringing Islam into the Vatican? You know, that's what ISIS said they're going to do. Remember when they executed those 20 Christians on the beach in Libya? If one thing they said at the very end, you know, they took his knife and pointed it towards Rome, towards the Vatican, saying, "We're coming for you." And now the Vatican is just surrendering, bowing down to this.
Cardinale said this: our interlocutors, our research centers, public universities, the Louvre, the Metropolitan, NASA. The priest told the newspaper. They don't really know what a priest is, much less how to distinguish him from a bishop or a cardinal. Well, how have they ever? If there are secular places in the Vatican. The article says, asked if scholars or other religions ever come to the library, the priest responded, of course. Some Muslim scholars asked us, who said they shouldn't? I'm not saying they shouldn't go to the Vatican Library, but some Muslim scholars, the priest said, asked us for a room with a carpet to pray. So we gave it to them. We have incredible ancient Qurans, the priest said. This is astounding, beloved. Incredible ancient Qurans, incredible copies of Satan's books is what he's saying.
Incredible copies of Satan's book. You know what? She needs to be the Pope. Why can't they have a woman Pope? They got a woman Archbishop of Canterbury. She needs to be the Pope. I vote for her to be the next Pope.
My goodness, we are a universal library. No, the Catholic Church is universal. And the verdict of the article, it says, the verdict is that the Vatican Apostolic Library does indeed allow Muslims a room for prayer. But importantly, it does not appear to be a generally accessible Islamic prayer space, but rather one designated for the Muslim scholars that may be on site at the time. Further, it was only opened at the request of scholars themselves. And though it is understandable that a Muslim prayer room in the Holy See may inspire a bit of cognitive dissonance, the vice prefect of the Vatican Apostolic Library describes the space as nothing more than a room with a carpet. This is Satan's deception, beloved.
This is Satan's deception. They said all the room has is a little room with a rug. That's all it is. And then she's saying this is Satan's deception. Dang. She doesn't pull any punches, man.
Beloved, amid the sensational news coverage, Britain nothing more than a room with a carpet. This is Satan's deception, beloved. Amid the sensational news coverage, Britain's Daily Mail may have said it best when it reported simply, quote, the Vatican has granted Muslim scholars' request for a prayer room. You know, that's the end of the article. So if you want my thoughts on it, it's abomination.
It's abomination. It's abomination. And you say, wait a minute, it's like being anti-Islam. No. You know, this is, Islam says Jesus is not the Son of God. That means they have a different Jesus. The Bible talks against bringing another Jesus into the church. The Apostle Paul says, I fear that if someone came and preached to you another Jesus, you would go along with it. Well, the Vatican is.
It's an abomination. If there were a rug with Satan's portrait on it, if possible, and Satan worshipers to go in to the Vatican and have a room for prayer, what would be the difference?
What would be the difference? Dang.
What would be the difference? It's everything opposed to Christ and Christianity.
It's everything opposed to Christ and Christianity. Islam is everything opposed to Christ and Christianity. Dang, to speak with such clarity, man. Ah, man, it's amazing. It's amazing to hear her talking like this, man. Just like, wow.
And anything opposed to Christ, no matter how vanilla it may seem at times, is satanic. People
Anything opposed to Christ is satanic. Wow.
have called the Station of the Cross. They've written into the Station of the Cross and even EWTN.
Excuse me a second, you guys. Babe? Babe? You okay? Okay.
To complain about how adamant I am. Mother Miriam Live is against the faith. She's this, she's that. No, I'm not. I'm for the faith. I want souls to go to heaven. And I've been asked to tone it down. I don't know how
He's been asked to tone it down.
to tone it down. How do you tone down? You see the enemy leading millions of souls to Christ with the permission, with the comfort of the Vatican, giving them even a rug to soften their knees on the floor. Come on. What do you want me to tone down? I want souls to go to heaven. That's why Christ died, beloved. We are being, what's the word bamboozled mean? We're being blinded by him who was once the angel of light.
Being bamboozled by him who was once the angel of light.
Who is now the enemy of our souls.
Who is now the enemy of our souls. Dang. Wow.
Knows how to disguise himself as an angel of light. How on earth has a Muslim prayer rug gained occupancy with Muslim scholars? Oh, it's not general Muslims, it's Muslim scholars. That's worse. To the Vatican Library.
She says it's not just general Muslim, it's Muslim scholars. She says it's worst.
How does the Vatican, how does the Pope consider any room, secular, in the Vatican? We have a library here at the Daughters of Mary, Mother of Israel's Hope. We have a couple of thousand books. And we carefully go through every single book to know that whoever picks up a book, it's going to lead them to Christ and the Catholic Church. And if we find the Quran in there or any other book that's not Catholic, we have overlooked our responsibility. We may keep the Quran and other books of other religions in a place separate from the public so that we understand what their belief system is in order to help them to come to Christ. That was John Paul II's definition of ecumenism, not to give them welcome no matter what they believe, not to give them the Eucharist, not to send their souls to hell. But true ecumenism is to respect, not respect, believe, but respect in the sense of don't assume what the other person believes to fight against it. Like my pastor, my Protestant pastor, and people fought against me for becoming Catholic. They never once fought against Catholic Church. They fought against misunderstandings. They never had enough respect for saving a soul to look into what the church truly teaches. They never fought against what the church truly teaches. That's true ecumenism, to have enough respect for other souls to find out what they truly believe so that you can help them. That's the only reason we'll read the Quran or any other non-Catholic book, including Protestant books. But we won't have them in our library for the public. And the Vatican not only has,
she disagrees with Protestants, and which is okay. I mean, we expect that, but but she's standing up against Islam, identifying it, I mean, as a satanic religion.
Them in their library, but gives them a rug for worship and prayer. So, KZ, my thoughts is that it's an abomination. Just as the Pachamama, in the words of Bishop Athanasius Snyder, was the abomination of desolation in the Vatican. No one cares for souls who could let that happen. That's not ecumenism. That's leading souls to hell. That's not caring even what Catholics believe.
It's leading souls to hell.
I don't know what else to say.
Wow. That's one brave nun, man. I don't agree with her on everything, but man, it's like what's his name? Bill Maher. It's like Bill Maher, you know. It's like he's a total liberal, left wing, you know. But when it comes to Islam, he's very clear sighted. He's very smart, and he's aware of the danger of Islam. And you know, so let's just see another papal abdication. Let's see what this video here says. Papal surrender. Oops. Here's another video of a pope situation here, surrendering to Islam.
He was the first pope to walk into a mosque.
Okay.
In 2000,
Yeah, we saw that one already. Okay, we have this one here. This is the one kind of irritating. This is kind of irritating. This new Chicago Pope, you know. I had pizza tonight.
Santità, e l'altra domanda viene da Michael Cor de La Croix.
Hello, Your Holiness. Thank you for this very interesting trip. You just talk about continue to build bridge between different worlds, and I like to ask, some Catholics in Europe believe that Islam is a threat to a Christian identity of the West. Are they right? And what would you say to them?
All of the conversations that I had during my time both in Turkey and in Lebanon, including with many Muslims, were precisely concentrated on the topic of peace and respect for people of different religions.
It's like, give me a break. You believing what you're hearing? Ever hear of Turkey?
I know that, as a matter of fact, that has not always been the case. I know that in Europe there are many times fears that are present, but oftentimes generated by people who are against immigration and trying to keep out people who may be from another country, another religion, another race. And in that sense, I would say that we all need to work together. One of the values of this trip is precisely to raise the world's attention to the possibility that dialogue and friendship between Muslims and Christians is possible. I think
that's not the issue. Of course, that's possible to have friendship with Muslims and Christians. You know, that's not the issue. The issue is, are you embracing Islam, denying Christ, trying to make a Chrislam, you know, this little milquetoast religion, and denying Christ in the process.
I think one of the great lessons that Lebanon can teach to the world is precisely showing a land where Islam, Christianity are both present and are respected. And
both present, so you just let the people go to hell. And you don't try to convert them. You don't try to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ to them. Just let them go to hell and have a temporary peace, a hudna, a spiritual hudna.
That there is a possibility to live together, to be friends. Stories, testimony, witnesses that we heard even in the past 2 days of people helping each other Christians with Muslims, both of whom had had their villages destroyed, for example, of saying we can come together and work together. I think those are lessons that would be important also to be heard in Europe or North America, that we should perhaps be a little less fearful and look for ways of promoting authentic dialogue and respect.
Milk toast. Dude. Dude. Yep, they go to hell without running. Yeah, but yeah. Dude, Pope, what's up with you, man? So anyway, but they have this one nun who's standing up to it. She's standing up to this, and good for her. Lots of people are watching her, man. Her channel is like you know, like I said, she's only got 74,000 subscribers. 74,000, but her videos have way more than that. She's got look at this. This one's got 400 and almost a half a million views. She says, I'm going to criticize the Pope, I'm going to criticize the Pope. I'm gonna watch this. This is funny. It's almost a half a million views on this.
On my comments about Pope Leo XIV, the bishops he's appointing, the doctrines he's affirming or letting go. And I've said in so many words, it's very dangerous that he's carrying on Pope Francis's agenda. And it's
He's going after Pope Francis too. Thank you. Thank you.
my concern is that many more souls are not going to learn the truth, and they will be sent to hell or allowed to continue to go to hell. A lot of people are against my saying that, but I say nothing that the church hasn't taught and that scripture doesn't affirm. So we've got several comments. I also have some equal number of affirming emails. So we'll look at both. But the first one is a YouTube, and this individual doesn't leave a name, but not an issue. Daily Distraction is the title. You have lost your way, sister. Going against the Pope and saying who has the right to God is Satan's work. Listen to this. I'm going to repeat that. Speaking to me, this person says, you have lost your way, sister. Going against the Pope and saying who has the right to God is Satan's work. Well, I think you're right. It's Satan's work. The same Satan who cursed God, who said, I will be like the Most High. I want to be worshipped, all of that. Everything Satan does is to destroy the work and the people of God. Yes. And my whole heart, what I am trying to do, which every faithful Catholic wishes to do, is to counter error and to speak the truth, that by the power of the Holy Spirit, hearts might be reached and saved and be on their way to heaven. So to go against the Pope, I'm not going against the Pope. I'm going against what he says. I'm not saying he's not the Pope. I'm not calling out his personal life. I'm not labeling him. I'm saying what he says is dangerous, heresy, and leading folks to hell if they believe him. And my producer had a note here that this individual is responding to my calling out the Vatican's support for the LGBTQ agenda. The Pope, as many know, have appointed several bishops who support the LGBTQ agenda, and that will simply, it's heresy. I'm not commenting on the personality or anything of the Pope. I'm simply saying he's teaching heresy.
Wow. Wow. Right on. I hope, it makes me think she might be born again. I mean, she's still got some anti-Protestant and stuff like that, but she's going by the Bible. And I hope if she's not born again, she sounds like she's born again, but I hope she will be born again if she's not. But it sounds to me like, because I think you might have sometimes. She might be. She might be born again. I know a lot of people are religious, but they're not born again. But she sounds like she might be born again, and she's standing up for the Bible and for the truth of the Bible. So we don't know. So anyway, that's Sister Mother Miriam speaking words of wisdom. I guess, you guys, I guess I owe it to you. Um, I owe it to you. Let's see. That one's not working. Let's try this one. Should end it like this, you guys.
In times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
By the way, guys, the guy on the left here, George Harrison, he had a friend who is a Brazilian car racer, very famous Brazilian car racer who was a born again Christian who say he accepted the Lord before he died. So
Whisper words of wisdom,
pray for Paul.
let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will
And I've heard that Ringo Starr is also born again, you guys.
be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted,
I heard John Lennon heard the gospel, but he with his comment that the Beatles are bigger than Jesus, that kind of ended their stratospheric rise, but I haven't heard that he became a Christian, unfortunately.
there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be.
Okay, so that's enough. Anyway, Mother Mary comes to me. It's worse. The only song that's worse than is Imagine. Oh, you can't stand this song. Yeah, Imagine is a very satanic song. So she knows what brings me. Yes. All right, you guys. Well, I tell you what, playing the Beatles took my numbers up. So anyway, that's the only song by the Beatles that I will play. So maybe we all live in a yellow submarine, or I want to be under the sea in an octopus's garden. Yeah, some of their fun songs. So I hope they can. I hope Paul McCartney gets saved, man. I don't know. I'm not sure he is, but there's hope. Greg Laurie, he did a movie, or I saw him one time talking about some of the Beatles, and he's because he's up there, in terms of he deals sometimes with these famous people, and he really thinks that George, you can live with Helter Skelter. that George got saved, through that Brazilian car driver. I mean, a racing car driver. So I hope so. Anyway, all right, you guys. Well, thank you for being with us. We made it to an hour. So if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a great night. Thanks.